In this video, we'll focus on multiplying fractions. So let's say we have the fraction a over b times c over d. What do you think we'll have to do? When we're multiplying fractions, we times the numerators together and the denominators together. So we times a to the c over b times d. Okay. And always, after you multiply or divide or add or subtract a fraction, check if you can simplify. To simplify a fraction, find a common factor in the numerator and the denominator and divide it. Okay. So let's try an example. Let's say we're timesing 7 over 8 to 4 over 5. So we times the numerators together, 7 times 4, and we times the denominators together, 8 times 5. Expand 28 over 40 and check if we have a common factor in both the numerator and the denominator. Now in this case, the common factor is 2. Okay, so we divide 2 and 2 like this. So we divide it, so it's 14 over 20. Then you can see how we can divide it again by 2. So we'll do it again, 2 over 2, 7 over 10. So we've just multiplied the 7 over 8 to 4 over 5, and we got 7 over 10. Okay, let's try another example. Let's say we have 8 over 9 times 3 over 2. Feel free to pause the video and solve these problems yourself. Now, we multiply the numerators together, 8 times 3, the denominators together, 9 times 2, we get 24 over 18. You can see how the greatest common factor is 6. So we divide the numerator and the denominator by 6. And we get 4 over 3. Alright. Let's try another example. But this time, we'll multiply 3 fractions together. So let's say we have the fraction 2 over 3 times 4 over 7 times 3 over 4. Now you go ahead and try this question yourself. Sorry. Okay, we multiply the numerators, so it's 2 times 4 times 3. And on the denominator, we do 3 times 7 times 4. 2 times 4 times 3 is 24. 3 times 7 times 4 is 12 times 7, and 12 times 7 is 84. Now I think there's a common factor of 4, so we'll divide by 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 84 divided by 4 is 21. And there is another common factor, as a common factor of 3, so we divide by 3. 2 and 7. So the answer is 2 over 7. Not that hard, is it? Okay, so another example, but this time we will add in a variable, and we're going to solve for the variable. So let's say we have 2 over 7 times a over 3 equals 8. Now the question might be solve for a. So we do the same thing as we've done before. We times the numerators and the denominators. Okay, so we get 2a numerator, and 7 times 3 is 21 on the denominator, and that equals 8. And so we times both sides by 21, so that would be 168. And then we divide both sides by 2 to make a by itself, and we get 84. So a is equal to 84. Good. Let's try another one. let's say we have 8 over a times, let's say a over 7 equals a. How do you think we'll solve this one? Have a go. Alright, now let's solve it. We times 8 and a, so it's 8a over 7a equals a. Okay. So now this seems really confusing, right? But it's not that confusing. Because what we can do is we can cross out the a's here. Because they're both common to the numerator and the denominator, we can just cancel them out. So we get a equals 8 over 7. Or, if in a mixed fraction form, we can write that as 1 and 1/7. Okay, good. Let's try another example. But this time we'll multiply 3 fractions with variables. So let's say we have a over 3 times 2 over 7 times 3 over a equals, 3 over a equals 2a. Now, go ahead and have a go. Solve for a. Alright, that's times 2 times a to 2, and that times 3. So it will be 2a times 3 over 21 times a equals 2a. Will be 6a, 2 times 3 is 6, 21a over 2a. Did before, the a's cancel out, so a goes away, and so does this a. We're left with 6 over 21 equals 2a. Alright, now we divide both sides by 2, so a is equal to 3 over 21. And remember, always check to simplify. Now, there's a common factor of 3 in both the numerator and the denominator, so we'll divide by 3. And we get 1 over 7. And don't forget to write a therefore statement. Therefore, a is 1 over 7. Forgot to write one here. Alright, good. Now we'll try one more question. And we'll leave it there for today. So, for example, let's say we have a over 2 times 3a over 4. And that equals 7. Now have a go and try to solve this question. It will require your understanding of square roots. If you're not familiar with that, go back and watch my other videos about square roots. So, to solve this equation, we times a to 3a over 8 equals 7. A times 3a is 3a squared over 8 equals 7. Don't put 2 equation equals sign like me. Times both sides by 8, so 3a squared equals 56. Divide both sides by 3, so 56 divided by 3, we can't simplify that. And then a should be equal to plus minus 56 over 3. Now, we want to simplify this third if we can. So let's check if we can simplify the third. We can't simplify square root of 3, but we may be able to simplify square root of 56. Now, the square root of 56. Okay, 56 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. So it's 8 times 7, right? That's equal to 2 squared times 14. We put that back into the square root. So 2 squared times 14. The square comes out of the square root and we're left with 2 square root of 14. Therefore, a is equal to plus minus 2 square root of 14 over root 3. Now we want to rationalize the denominator. So a equals plus minus 2 square root of 14 times square root of 3. I'll write the answer over here. That equals plus minus 2 square root of 42 over 3. And now we need to simplify square root of 42. Very fun. So square root of 42 is 2 times 2 is 2 times 3 times 7. So, we can't simplify square root of 42. So our answer to this question is plus minus 2 square root of 42 over 3.